Okay, so let's read the directions for a minute here. During the first week of class, you will be assigned to a group. Once you have your group assignment, your group will meet virtually and decide upon the group rules and expectations, who will lead each of the 6 group meetings. So it's only 6 groups, huh? Keep in mind, each member is required to lead at least once on the topic to be discussed each week. Please note that each weekly group session for topics 2 through 7 will need to be at least 2 hours in length, but this initial group can be shorter, approximately 30 to 60 minutes. Be sure to include the link to your topic 1 group recording in the chart below. Complete the form and answer the questions below related to the group rules and expectations after meeting with your group. When deciding who is to lead the group each week, choose one of the following 6 topics listed below. The stress of being a student, getting older, changes in mind and body, dealing with conflict, organization 101, healthy exercise and eating, to include how to avoid burnout, saying goodbye. Please note this is required to be the final topic. Please keep in mind that during the group sessions in topics 2 through 7, each session should include a group leader who will lead for 2 hours, and the other members are to participate fully as active group members. Okay, and I guess that's pretty much it. You're familiar with, downloading that form, right? And including I did call the professor. I emailed her and I asked her if I could use my workplace, my Zoom workplace, or my workplace Zoom, which is I use professionally. And she said, yes, that's not a problem. I guess the whole idea is for me to send the link. But the question is, should I send you the link? I guess I'm gonna have to send you the link so you can, when you lead the meeting, are you supposed to be the one to fill out this form, or are we all supposed to fill out this form?
We each have to fill out this form, and we each have to put the link at the top. And then I think we each have to submit our own forms, like from there on out, because we have like a review and then the submitting the recording. But there's a way you can, you could just add it in that messaging block in the classroom. You just add the link right in there so we all have it, and then we can copy and paste it into our own documents. Or I've had teachers before where they want it done a certain way. I didn't see her say that because this is 2 hours, but where they want you to put it into the school's Dropbox and then use that link. She didn't specify, so.
Well, the problem with the school Dropbox that I had in the past is that, again, when it comes to the account, the Zoom account that they give you at GCU, it only lets you record an hour. So this is why the first email that I sent to her was me asking her if I could use my own personal, professional level Zoom account, because I knew that, this is a problem I had before. I just couldn't submit, I mean, the clips that they would let me record was 15 minutes. I mean, and they're asking for up to an hour sometimes in the other classes I took. So anyway, I guess any input, Brian, anything?
I was under the impression only one of us had to send a link to her.
That was my impression, but perhaps maybe we can, in other words, the person who leads the group. But, hey, I can send her an email and ask her to be more specific. This is such the level of contact that I have had with instructors doing my degree online, because I did mine in person, like undergrad. Oh, man, it's tricky. Sometimes they answer quickly and sometimes they don't answer, until like weeks later. And the grading is something that she's gonna hear this because we're recording it. But the grading, sometimes when it takes too long, it doesn't allow you time to kind of correct some of the things that you need to correct with the way that you turn in your assignments. Have you had that experience?
As far as I can tell, a lot of times, it does take a little while for the instructors to get back with you, especially, when you when you submit assignments to be graded, it usually takes a little while. As far as that, as far as finding out, what you did, I mean, they always have input to tell you, what, what you may can improve on, but, online is definitely, I like it, but it's challenging at times, especially when groups. Because I mean, the stars got lined up just right to get everybody together on one page. It really is. And I think we have some experience here, which really helps out with groups. So I think we're gonna have good groups. I really do. Experience really helps out in groups, I think. But I think we're gonna be fine. We just gotta kind of work it out. Have a better idea, maybe what she's asking, how she wanted us to do this as far as turning in. We all want to get credit for our work, sure. But I thought I read that. Maybe I'll read it again to be sure, but I think you were like the facilitator of the group. Whoever we choose, the like group 2 or whatever, would be the one that would send us the link. But that's what.
The only reason
I will
I
find-
say that is
Go ahead.
on each week, it says, there's a submission bar for it if you look like ahead of time. Cause I have to like schedule my life a little bit more, so I have to like look ahead of time through everything, and I see that there's one each week for the meeting. It's called group session form, so I don't know if it's just like one that gets duplicated or we each have to send it.
I'll find out from the professor. I'm gonna send her an email immediately after. I prefer emails than, because sometimes she may not be signed on to the portal. So I prefer to send emails from my personal email account, which I'm always on top of. So my communications with her have been, at times have been like from my personal email account, not my GCU account, to her GCU account. And that seems to have worked very well for me, getting a prompt, reply. So when it comes to group rules, man, this form really got messed up.
Do we want to do the first part, which is picking the topics and the facilitators first before we set the rules?
This
I know you're working with a
very odd page
layout.
Go ahead.
So this time works for all 3 of us. Hopefully, if we get our 4th member, that will work. Do we want to just keep it on Tuesday at this time?
Yep.
Okay, and then do we want to plan each of us, because there's 6, right? Wait. Yeah, there's 6, because week 8 is our own personal reflection paper. We don't have a meeting on week 8.
No?
No. So we can each take 2 topics, and then if that person does join, then we can filter them in however.
Yeah, absolutely. Out of the list, absolutely.
Okay. So does anyone want to take Tuesday, the 25th?
Yeah, I got it. I'll take it.
Okay. And what topic would you like?
In those are good topics. It's just, I like them, but I think the stress of being a student, I think I'm gonna go with that.
Okay.
I'll take the following one.
Okay, so that's March 4th.
Okay.
And what topic do you want?
Oh, give me 1 second. I'm printing the form again, only this time the right way. I got it. I like it.
Yeah.
Oh, nothing like the right size, and the right format.
Yeah.
Okay.
Helps out.
I'm sorry, which topic you're planning to? On the 21st, right?
25th, right?
25th, yeah.
25th, okay.
25th.
So that's gonna be our first group,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
225. 25. Facilitator is gonna be Brian.
Right.
I think I remember which one is the stress of being a student.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Okay, I will take dealing with conflict.
Okay. I'll
Oh,
take
yeah.
the next one. I'll do organization. And that's on March 11th.
Organization 101, huh?
Yeah. We'll see where my mind goes with that one.
Okay, so why don't we leave it there in case we hear from the
But
other.
we have to fill them all out
Yeah.
Really?
because we have to
Yeah.
submit this paper tomorrow. So we have to assume, go off of based who's here and then,
Oh boy.
yeah.
You gotta fill it
Now-
out here.
This is gonna get tricky, y'all. It's gonna be a little difficult. What do you want to?
Mm,
Wanna
It
go
might
ahead
not
and
be.
fill it out
I'm pretty
myself?
sure that person dropped a class I was in before too, in a group setting, so they might drop again.
So I
Makes
am under the understanding that if you don't show up for the first group in any class like this, you're automatically dropped. Am I right or wrong on this?
No,
No?
I don't-
no, they
I think
get
you
7 days and then automatic withdrawal at 12 days.
Okay, so should we go ahead and continue scheduling ourselves?
Yeah, just work with the
Right.
3 of us and then,
We'll see what happens.
Yep.
yeah, I guess.
After all, the professor has been notified that he has not made contact with any of us. So it wouldn't be a surprise to her to only see 3 names on this page.
Yeah.
Okay,
think
Brian,
she's
you wanna go
expecting
ahead and take the next one?
Okay, which is gonna be
318.
318, okay, 318.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see here. Haha. How about getting older?
Okay.
Getting older, I can talk 8 hours on that one.
You and me, brother.
Yeah, I tell you.
Changes in mind and body.
Oh, yeah, a good one too. Yep.
Okay, then it's me. And I am going to take saying goodbye.
That's
You want
that's
to
the
switch
last one.
weeks? Because that's the
gonna be
last
one.
week.
Oh, that's it's for the next. Oh, okay. So you're gonna be doing saying goodbye. Healthy exercise and eating to include how to avoid burnout.
Okay.
325.
Yes.
And saying goodbye is gonna be what,
1.
4-1?
Yep.
Wow, April, isn't it something?
I know.
It's hell when you get old.
I'm gonna answer this. I gotta answer this call, lawyer. Can I call you right back? I'm in an online class right now. Yes, ma'am. Okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye. Okay, so the last one is gonna be Elisa and saying goodbye. And that's gonna be April what?
First.
First. April Fool's Day.
Oh boy.
One of my grandson's birthdays.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Oh, wow.
saying goodbye, Elisa. Okay, doing really well here, moving along. Okay. Alisa, are you actually working as a counselor right now?
No, not currently.
No?
No.
I guess we'll talk about, when we finish this, we'll talk about, why we all decided to do this. All right,
Oh,
so
okay.
group rules and expectations.
Um, does anyone have any top of the mind?
Be on time?
Okay,
Okay, y'all go, sure, y'all go right ahead.
You like that one?
yep,
What was the first one? I missed it.
No,
be on time.
being on time,
Oh, yeah. Sure.
being on time and communicating if there is a problem,
Hmm.
because
I was gonna say active communication
you
as
want
the
to
second one.
say,
That
there you
could
go.
cover both
Yeah,
of it.
that's
Yeah.
a good idea.
And number 3, what about respectfulness toward the other students, which I don't think we're gonna have a problem in that department, but I'll always put that down.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Being respectful. Protecting group confidentiality.
Mhm. Yep,
Always,
what
always.
stays here, yep.
So that was protecting confidentiality?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alisa, you got one?
What about no judgment? Could that be one?
Judgment-free zone.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I like it. Yeah, when I go to the gym, that's what I like. Nobody judging me,
Yep.
That's why I work out at home.
That's probably better.
I don't know, my dog has judgy eyes.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
he
I'm,
probably won't tell anybody anything though.
yeah.
So we cover the basics on the paper. To be honest with you, I don't know where to go for counting the time that we've been recording.
Well, yeah, we didn't start recording till a couple minutes into it.
So we started at close to 5 o'clock, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Yes.
know where to go on this. This is my first time recording. Whiteboard reset to default. Oh my God. I'm very familiar with the app, with the platform, but there are certain things I've never done, like recording like this long and maintaining, keeping the time. So this thing is sophisticated. I'm sure it has a timer somewhere.
Yeah, there he is.
But better, because otherwise we kind of bear the burden to kind of make sure that we stay within time. So anyway, you said that there is a possibility that this other group member may not even be.
Yeah, they might not.
Coming. He's dropped other classes before.
I remember seeing the name in another group assignment, and then I only had another, like there was supposed to be a group of 3 and there was only 2 of us, so.
He was at the third one.
Yeah, but I'm not sure like what happened, if
Okay, well,
schedules and stuff.
I don't have his GCU email, so I couldn't email him, which is kind of baffling because if we're going to communicate with each other, one of the first things I do in the introduction part of it is I put my phone number. I mean, we're all students, right? I do that in cohort classes. I pass it around. You know. So, so we don't have a format, but do you want to share why you got into counseling?
Sure. Who wants to go first?
Lisa, come on.
Okay, I always wanted to be a counselor. I come from an old school East Coast background where that isn't always encouraged. Mental health isn't looked upon. So I had to pick a different career. I went and taught high school for 7 years,
Yeah, me too.
and the burnout was real. So I needed something else to do. And I always wanted to work with addiction and have a lot of friends that I've lost. Like, I think we're at 40% of my graduating class has had some type of difficulty with addiction, and I graduated with a class of almost 900 kids. So my area is very bad. It was actually the opioid overdose capital of America for a long time.
Where is
So,
that?
Massachusetts. So, yeah, southeastern Mass was pretty bad for a really long time with most pills, but then heroin and all kinds of stuff. So I saw a lot of things, brought me a lot of places, and lost a lot of friends. So trying to help. What about you guys?
Brian?
Okay, I'll go next. Yeah, thank you, Roberto. I know we share a lot. Is it Elisa? How you
Yes,
pronounce your name? Elisa?
Alyssa. Yeah, you can
Alyssa,
say,
okay.
yeah, I'll
Yeah,
answer anything.
look, I'm gonna tell you, I used to be a school teacher. I used to teach chemistry at a high school level. And I tell the kids all the time, I'm gonna screw your name up. I will get ready. It's coming, and I do a good job. I mess them up, but I learn them the names over there. But um, I come from probably more of a medical background to this. After I taught school for about close to a year, um, I didn't like I liked the kids, but the school was just it's always something changing. There's different principal, different teachers. It just was too much going on. I was like, this is not what I want. You can't really get comfortable because you never know what's going to happen, you know. So,
Mhm.
but then after I got through teaching school, I went to EMT, went to EMT school, and I could become an EMT. And I enjoyed that. It was a challenging field. I mean, if you like adrenaline, that's what you need to go do because I mean, they got all you can handle. And but I was on the ambulance, and a lot of times we were going back to same people and using Narcan, waking them up. And I just could never figure out, man, what is going on here? Because I mean, I've never had never did drugs or anything like that. Never had a problem as far as in that field. So it was it was, just really confusing because I mean, one day, 3 different trucks went to the same house in one day. So then you get to doing a little research, figuring out that, well, actually what happens is, of course, the opioids, the brain actually rewires itself. So, and then, the idea is for the brain wants the dopamine, and that's kind of what it needs a drug to function or feel right. So when you figure that out, it's like, oh, okay, it makes sense, because I mean, they need a drug. And then did that for a little while, and I was actually working at the facility I'm at now as a tech, just kind of get my feet wet, see if I want to do this. And it's like they offered me a counseling position, and I love it. I enjoy it. I'm tell you what, I can do groups for hours and hours and hours. But the paperwork, guys know about the paperwork we got to do. Oh,
Nasty.
that's like, I was like, man, I said, here we go, um, but when I do my groups, I always have a backup plan because sometimes the groups are kind of, when you say it may go stale and the conversation may run out. So you got to have a backup plan. But so far I've been pretty successful at running groups. The thing about when I'm doing groups or whatever, I like to give it to the clients, let the clients go with it. And that happens every once in a while, but it sure is nice to see that, let them, it's their group. I always tell them, this is this is you guys' group. I'm just here for the fun, I'm here to see what goes on, so. But I enjoy talking to people, and And that's kind of what I got into it, because when I first started teching, they always told me, Brian, you need to be a counselor. I'm like, I don't know, because I was working full time with the EMT already. I mean, I had too many irons in the fire, and so they stay after me, and if I want to do it, I said, hey, why not? So now, and here I am in school. And Roberta, you probably can attest to this or whatever. I'm 51 and I'm in grad school. Why? I have no idea, but I guess I like abuse. But here I am, and then about a year and a few months we'll be graduating. So that's
Yep.
good too.
Yeah, I think it's a great accomplishment. I think it's something I always wanted to do. Excuse me, let me move my screen, I'm looking sideways here, and I'm like, why am I looking sideways?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Thank you. I think some of the stories I've heard over the years from other counselors are obviously very unique. And there is a small percentage of people who are not in recovery that show some interest in this. I didn't pick counseling. Counseling kind of picked me. I have a very strong faith in my recovery at the time. In 1991 was already driven very heavily by my faith. And I got a job, because I got thrown out of my girlfriend's house, the apartment, by the landlord. I got myself thrown out of her apartment. Let me put it to you that way. So I had to find a place to go, and I found a sober living that was empty. And, they had just recently opened it up, and I was the first resident. And so what happened is that during it, I wasn't really looking for a job. I was staying in. I was still new to recovery. And so I started doing a lot of work around the house, hanging. It's a Victorian house with an apartment building in the back, and it had a capacity for like 38 people that's over living. So I wasn't an employee, but I started hanging curtains and started fixing this and fixing that. And the owner started popping in and noticing that I was doing work, and his manager was upstairs on the phone doing nothing, chatting with his friends. So he made the obvious decision. He switched us up. Made me the manager and put him in a room downstairs. So anyway, during the course of that year and a half that I ran that sober living in, with about a year and a half clean and sober, all of these supposedly God-given talents and skills came to the surface, and I was the last one to notice. Everybody kept telling me, man, you could make a great counselor. I met a girl who eventually became my wife. And when we were dating, she used to tell me, because she used to see how the residents will come to me with things that were going on in their lives. And she would be in the room listening to how I was interacting with them. At the time, the only thing I could offer them was what I was learning in AA. I've been a member of AA almost 36 years next month. And so, I come from a very strong Christian background as well. So the cornerstone of my spiritual standing really is the Christian background that I bring with me. But I'm very eclectic when it comes to spirituality. Let me put it to you this way. I serve God, period, end of story.
Right.
I had quite a few mental health issues and emotional issues. I had quite a bit of trauma when I got sober. I had a lot of anger. I had been in the legal system and the penitentiary system 4 times already, and in the county jail like about 9 times. So I was really out of control. But let me phrase this properly. The faith that I had already developed as a Christian and AA and what AA had to offer came together, and it became the catalyst for the change that I've been having for the last almost 36 years. And I went from being a self-centered, egotistical, selfish person to, being a decent human being that people want to be around. And all glory and all power and all credit goes to my faith in God, you know, I mean. I know a lot of people make a big deal out of like AA, this, AA, that, AA, this, you know, but if you were on the side of a river and I was drowning and you threw me a rope and you pull me to safety from drowning, I'm not going to give the rope the credit. I'm going to give you the credit because you're the one that pulled me up. And what happens a lot of times is that sometimes people, instead of giving the one that pulled you out of where you were the credit, they pull the tool that was used to pull you out credit. So I keep hearing people in AA saying things like, AA changed my life, AA changed my life, AA did for me, AA did this. No, man, that was a tool that was used by somebody else to get you out of the job you were in. Why are you giving the tool the credit, you know? But anyway, let me tell you what has happened after 33 years in the field. As close to burnout as I can possibly be. It got to the point on the last job that I had where I dreaded going to work. And the reality of it is that we are engaging an industry. It's a money-making machine. Whether it is billing the county or billing the insurance companies, treatment has become an industry. And for the last 10, 15 years, I have had to keep a very objective purpose in mind to just make sure that I take it the right way and not focus on the money-making machine that I'm working for. And the way that I did that was I keep praying and asking God, whoever is it that you want me to talk to today, put them in front of me. This company I work for is just a tool that was used for me to come before that person. Let me see what kind of difference I can make in that person's life. Please put the right person in front of me so that I can use my talents and gifts that you gave me, that you helped me develop as well, and so that I can be of maximum benefit to this person. And that's what I've done. So my last job was on the 10th of this month. I filed for retirement with Social Security, and I have about 5 private clients that I'm engaged with and working with. And my plan is to teach community college level. So I'm going to be switching from counseling and doing therapy at some level to teaching in college. And that's pretty much what my plan is. After I get my master's, I'm going to apply for positions teaching in substance abuse programs, you know, because that's what I love to do. Yeah. But it's been quite a journey, to say the least.
Are you in Southern California?
Yeah, I live in Long Beach. I actually
Oh,
live,
okay.
I have a house in Long Beach and I have one here, an apartment here near Disneyland in Garden Grove, right next to Anaheim.
I went to college in California. I spent 10 years there, and I went to Irvine Valley College, which is a junior college there that's great and in a
Irvine?
it's in a great system. And I worked there for a little while, which I would recommend that system. Saddleback, Irvine, all those, they're really good.
Yeah, you know, the greatest gift I think God has given me besides himself is the ability and the desire to help other people change. When we work with people, you don't get to see the quick results of the influence you're having on people. What you're sharing with people that they're hoping and, you know, praying that sometimes that you share something of real value to them, that will kick in probably later. You know, hey, I remember Brian said this, you know, maybe this is right. Let me try it the way Brian said it. You know, Alisa said, she suggested I take this route. Maybe this is another way of looking at it. I think the greatest gift that we can give them is teaching them how to repackage the negative thought patterns that they're struggling with. Because our clients are really struggling very heavily at a mental level. The decisions they're making, the way they see themselves, the way they praise the world, it's a lot of negativity there. And if I remember distinctively being new to the recovery process and being told that I needed to start reframing the way I thought. They didn't know that they were basically suggesting a very important tool in cognitive behavioral therapy called cognitive reframing. And so I did. I just did. I will talk to people. I say, hey, Brian, help me out, brother. I'm having a problem. How can I look at this situation differently? That's what I did. And it's paid off. 36 years next month.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot. And
It's a lifetime.
Yeah, yes.
I work with people that have been sober longer than they've been alive, but I figure I'm gonna be living. If I'm fortunate enough to live this long, I might as well make it sober, right?
Right. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, might as well. I'm gonna be on this train. I might as well make it fun.
Gotta enjoy it because you're going to. I mean, you know what I always say is you're gonna work more than you're gonna retire. So you're gonna work more than you retire life. So.
Yeah, and I welcome that because I figured, I have partnered up with my God in developing something of real substance and value that is going to serve no one when I go down 6 feet under. What I have to offer is going to serve people right now that I'm walking the planet. So I offer it to people, and when they decide that they see value in it, then I just share it with them because I think that's what I presume to be an expectation that I think my Creator has of me, to share what I have, the parable of the talents. I was entrusted with what I have. I have to show profit. Otherwise, I'll be like the idiot that buried it, or the other one that mismanaged it and lost it. I had to show profit.
Yeah. In our profession that we have, we've chose, or it chose us, or how you want to say it. We learn a lot from our clients. You learn just more than you think that you know. And my thing is, there's always a reason why addiction started. And I think once you get to the bottom of that, find out what's going on, that's usually when the true healing starts. So I'm like you. I love suggestions. Tell me something I can improve on, because you want to do the best you can. Because sometimes, if you remember, you may only see that client one time. And if you don't make a good impression or whatever, they may not change their ways. So I always keep that in mind.
You may be the only Bible that they will ever see in that one time that you see them. Or you may be the only big book, however you want to phrase it. Because not everyone, especially in this program, I know some people that are, they do have a Christian background, but they're mostly focused on what's going on with their recovery. To me, honestly, if I'm serving God and the end result is that I am a decent, good human being to everybody I come in contact with, then I'm in God's will. That's the fruit right there. Yeah. So, you want to add something?
I didn't mean to cut you off, Robert.
No, that's okay.
I when you said it, I remembered something I should have said it earlier. I was an EMT at a local paper plant over here in town. Because I actually live like an hour north of New Orleans, but if I tell you Bogalusa, you're not gonna know where Bogalusa is, but you know where New Orleans is. So about an hour. So I was working full time at the mill. I was an EMT at the mill, but I was kind of moonlighting where I'm at now. And just always felt the good Lord was trying to kept telling me, you need to come here more. You need to stay here. You know, and so I'm like, and then the money was so different, Roberto. Yeah, I was like, and I'm like, what are you telling me? I mean, this is not going to even work. This is nowhere close. You know, I'm thinking, wait, I mean, but you know, and they stayed after me about doing it, and I remember saying, Lord, I don't know what you got planned, but these numbers don't look good to me. So I'm gonna go with you and see what's gonna happen. And I mean, it's real look, it worked out good ever since. And I mean, I was scared, but I said he's pushing me to be here for a reason, and I think it really has paid off. I mean, I enjoy going to work. It really has helped me out. I think it is. I mean, it's exciting because as far as the intangibles, I guess you would say, because when you see people that get there and then 28 days later or 30 days, usually in that range, and you see the improvement, it's like I had a hand in that, and that's
Priceless.
yes,
Mhm.
Mhm.
Melissa?
Um, I mean, I, my big thing was like, I was always the one people would come to for the advice. And I'm like, why? I don't have any more experience than you do. Why do you think I can solve your life dilemmas? And at a certain point, it just became who I was. So I decided might as well stop doing it for free.
Right. Yeah.
Because that's definitely not a good paycheck.
No.
But I also lost my best friend and had a lot more time to spend on other people and helping other people with their problems instead of focusing on containing the chaos that was her life. So decided to take what I've learned and the mistakes I've made with helping other people and grow and actually help people become better versions of themselves. So,
Yeah.
Wonderful.
It's a gift. Is not everyone has that call. Not everyone hears that call. And you're gonna hear a lot of people tell you things like, why would you want to do that? You know, aren't you tired of working with all these really difficult people?
no, they're the fun ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I always loved I wanted a job that actually didn't allow me to get bored because I fear boredom more than I fear anything.
Right.
And so,
Mhm.
These clients I've had over the last 33 years have given me a run for my money. It's been, and I worked in a lot of different facilities and formats and modalities, and I don't have one single regret about anything. Of course, I made my share of mistakes. I made my peace with everybody involved. That included, a part of those mistakes that I made along the way. But most of all, I think going to the core of our profession, we should know who our real employer is, always. We should know who we're working for, really. Because as I said, the treatment the treatment community is primarily a business. And there's a lot of heavy duty profit in the business. Including, the push to make a lot of taxpayer money from a lot of taxpayer funded agency.
Right.
So part of the trick is to make peace with the fact that you're working for an industry and just focus on who you're working for, really, and who you're working to help. Like I always focused on, these are the clients I'm supposed to be seeing today, and I'm gonna focus on doing my best for them. Try to lift them up. You know, try to encourage them and motivate them and help them see things differently. And in essence, our clients come starving for hope. And our job is to have plenty of hope in our own lives that we can share with them. And God forbid the day you show up to work with no hope at all for yourself, you're gonna have nothing to offer to them. And they're gonna pick up on it
Oh, quick. Yes.
real quick.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I had to straighten out my God. This is what I usually tell people God has done in my life. God has done actually an engine overhaul while the engine was still running. And I don't know if you can picture that mechanically, but for a typical mechanic, that is literally impossible. But for the God that I serve, that's exactly what I feel my God has done in my life. I arrived in this sobriety and recovery and this field in a very, very bad state of mind, body, and soul. And the people that I met with at the time knew, they could see, they could tell that there was something really wrong with me. And I thought, here I was thinking, I'm just the biggest miracle God has ever done. Are you kidding me? I've seen people with paranoid schizophrenia being healed and become counselors. I've seen it with my own eyes, you know. I mean, you talk about miracles. Yeah. So anyway, I know we have gone past the half hour. We're going into now probably about 15 minutes. Do you agree that we should stop it now?
That works.
Yeah.
I'm fine with
Okay,
that.
I'm gonna stop the recording. Let's see.